Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, is primarily a hereditary biochemical disorder that impedes a person's ability to perform at his or her full potential. Approximately 3 to 5% of American children suffer from ADHD or ADD, attention deficit disorder. Up to 2/3 of these children carry this disorder into adulthood. Symptoms include poor impulse control, hyperactivity, difficulty focusing on immediate tasks, inability to pay attention to instruction, and a disregard for social courtesies, such as repeatedly interrupting or speaking out of turn. These students often receive poor conduct evaluations in school, are bored quickly, and often check out of listening to instruction, thus missing important information being presented. There are many accommodations that can be made in a lecture classroom for these students that go to community college. At the beginning of the semester, my syllabus must be very detailed as to exactly what is expected. I need to think seriously before making any changes to the schedule during this semester because these students find the change difficult to adapt to. Each week at the beginning of my lectures, I need to give a concise list of objectives or goals that I am expecting the student to learn during the class. I need to ask questions often and check for understanding and comprehension. I need to offer help often, as these students will not readily ask for it. Students with ADHD just want to blend in with the others, so I would make an effort not to draw attention to the student and discuss any issues or behaviors that are inappropriate in private. I often teach my 3-unit ag business courses in 1 lecture a week for 3 hours. I know 3 hours of listening to me talk would be nearly impossible for a student with ADHD. I would provide several breaks, encourage movement around the classroom, small group activities, and even ask the student to just erase notes on the board for me, as just a few minutes of mindless activity can help the student remain fresh and engaged. I assign some large projects, such as writing a business plan or conducting a job shadowing assignment and class presentation to my agribusiness students. These large culmination assignments or projects could be very overwhelming to a student with ADHD. As a result, I would set up smaller goals or projects with these students to lessen the perceived size of the project. In writing a business plan, I would have the student turn in a new chapter each week, rather than all 8 chapters at the end of the semester. With my job shadowing assignment, I would make weekly goals that would include deciding on what type of career they'd like to shadow, selecting a person to shadow, making a list of important questions to ask that person, picking a date to meet with the person, preparing the write-up, and finally preparing for the presentation to the class. Students with ADHD would need frequent progress reviews with me. In a 16-week course, it would be best to check in with the student weekly or twice monthly, rather than just prior to the midterm or final. These students want to succeed, they want to be part of the group, and they want to feel normal. In a community college setting, students often want to express their individual personalities. However, students with ADHD just want to fit in and not be seen as different.